What makes Echo brand trimmers better in a lot of ways to other trimmers, even when comparing them to ones that are much more expensive? Is it just the price, or is there something special about them? When I did a video about Stihl equipment, I was absolutely shocked by the amount of people who said their Echo trimmer was a lot better. I thought I was alone in thinking that, but it turns out that's far from the truth. In today's video, we're going to look at this Echo string trimmer, and the problem is that it's a curved shaft, and we're going to convert it to a straight shaft, and the reason is because straight shafts sell better. Now, I've already made a video about this trimmer, and if you want to see that video, there should be a link to it at the top of the screen or at the end of the video. And I'm just going to use the video as a background while I talk about the trimmer that I prefer to use over most all the other ones I've had the pleasure of working on or even owning. In the last decade, I've worked with a lot of brands and tested them after fixing them, and even though they worked well and I didn't have too many complaints about them, I always came back to the Echo as my trimmer of choice. Now, as far as the video goes, I wouldn't have an issue using the curved shaft GT225, however, my plans are to sell it, and most of the comments I've gotten about it are, oh, I wish it was a straight shaft. So for me, what I'm doing on screen is not out of need, and it's not personal. Now, I really did enjoy making this video because there was a lot of problem solving, which is fun, but can be very frustrating. Now, for those of you who didn't know, the shaft diameters between these two are not the same, and that's why you see a lot of work being done to make the conversion possible. I do believe this was done on purpose, but I can't prove it. It's just a belief that I have. Now, in the area I live at, the difference in the new price between these two models is $50, which I know doesn't sound like a lot of money, but to someone else, that's money for food or gasoline. So if you look at it from that perspective, that is a lot of money. But in my opinion, you can't go wrong between the two of them. And of course, that's why the used market even exists. Now, for the difference in the new prices between these two trimmers, you can buy a used straight shaft trimmer. Yes, it's going to have some miles and maybe even some years on it, but as long as it's not worn out or horribly mangled, I'd still buy it. That brings up a good point about these Echo trimmers, which is their perceived value and also their resale value. Generally, depending upon the condition, they're extremely good, but why is that? I'll let you know, it's not very often that you find a great value, but when you do, you tend to gravitate back to it. That's what the Echo is. It's a great value. So what defines the term great value? Simply put, for the price you pay for something, the return you get either meets or exceeds the money you paid for it. But wouldn't that normally happen if you had gotten the top of the line products? Yes, I would hope so, but considering I'm in no position to buy top of the line products, I'm only making a guess. So in the case of these two trimmers, the SRM225 and the GT225, they're technically both entry-level machines from Echo, but both receive extremely good reviews and overall ratings if you're into ratings. And if you're not, then I'd ask you to use someone's Echo for a bit, and I think you'll come up with your own opinions very quickly that they are easy to use, well-balanced, and when you realize how affordable they are, I think you'd give them the same praise. So here's the issue. For some of you watching, this is not news to you. So if you already have one of these or just like Echo products, then I'm telling you something you already know. But to those who didn't know, I'm going to try and convince you that if you are in the market for a new trimmer, to look past the rest of them and get yourself one of these. And the first reason will be an easy one: money. Now, at this moment, which is winter and going into spring, you can go to your local hardware store and get an SRM225 for the low price of only $229 before taxes. And if you take some precautions at the end of each season, you'll find out why so many customers have vouched for it for the last decade. You'll find that it's not very heavy. In fact, it's fairly light for its size, and best yet, it's easy to handle. But why is that so important? Well, I'll tell you why. Over a decade ago, I was having a conversation about lawn equipment with a coworker, and what they said really affected me. They said that their Stihl Combi was the best trimmer they'd ever used. Now, at the time, I hadn't gotten a chance to work with any Stihl equipment, so I was really excited to get one in my hands. Now, it would take about another year or so before that happened, and I hate to say it, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be like. So what happened was that I finally had the opportunity to work on an old battered Stihl FS91R, and I will say this, it was a complete monster of a trimmer. The problem with it was that it had a starting issue, which is why it came to me in the first place. I then serviced the carb and the rest of the fuel system, and everything worked out great. It would then start and run just like it was supposed to. Of course, I had to try it out, and I will say this, it's just like what I thought it would be, but there was one major problem with it. I found it to be difficult to use. Now, I'm not a Viking by any means, but I'm also not weak, but I found wielding it was a bit cumbersome. I wasn't sure if I needed to be 6'3" and an athlete to use it, but I found myself tired and worn out after using it for about 40 minutes. Now, while I was using it, I didn't seem to have any issues with it, but I did notice that it wasn't as balanced as some of the other brands, which is probably why I didn't feel comfortable using it, which explains why I didn't like it. Now remember, I value ease of use and comfort as opposed to overall build quality and power. Now if you didn't know it, I really enjoy automobiles, so I'm going to express it in a way that might make it a little bit easier to see what I'm getting at. Let's say you have an exotic sports car that has 1,000 horsepower, looks amazing, and is worth a lot of money. But if it's tough to drive and uncomfortable to sit in, well, I wouldn't want to drive it all that much. Now, the car example is a bit different when it comes to value because it's a car and we're talking about lawn equipment here, but the way I felt about the Stihl FS91R is just like the example I mentioned. The Stihl was powerful, looked like a capable machine, and definitely not a kid's toy, and for the price, it's expensive when comparing it to most other trimmers from regular brands. The problem was that, quite frankly, I did not enjoy using it. Now, you may not feel the same way about it as I did, so for you, it might be perfect, but not for me. So from this experience, I know the Stihl FS91R is not right for me, but what about their other trimmers? Now, I have been fortunate enough to have tried out a few of their other models, and they were a lot better and easier to handle. However, I still felt as though they were a bit uncomfortable to use. They were either unbalanced or I just couldn't get used to using them. Either way, in my book, Stihl is not my preferred brand. Now, I don't recall exactly when I got a chance to work on one of the newer orange Echo trimmers, but I had plenty of experience with the older gray ones, which I thought were great. I then finally got my chance to work on one, and I was not disappointed. They were just as comfortable as the gray ones. I then realized that I was an Echo person. So if you had several trimmers on a table for me to pick from to use for a few hours, chances are good you'll know exactly which one I'm gonna pick. I think the biggest reason why I feel comfortable using it is that the balance is great. The engine doesn't weigh too much and the positioning of the front and rear handles just work well for me. I know you can change the position of the front handle, but even after changing it on other brands, I still find that the Echo is much easier to handle. Like I said, to each their own, and for you, the Echo might feel uncomfortable while the Stihl feels perfect. Now, if for some reason $229 is more than you want to pay for a new Echo SRM 225, then I would suggest finding one on the used market. Now, this is going to be a bit tough to do, but not impossible to do. At the time of this video, I was able to find plenty of SRM 225s, and there was one in working condition for only $125, which I think is a great deal. But what if your budget is even tighter than that? The answer is even better. I'd buy the curved shaft version instead. Now, the curved shaft price is only $179 new, which yet again I think is a great price for this type of machine, and if for some reason you want to save even more money, you can buy it used as well. I was able to find one for only $75. Now, typically I would choose the straight shaft version, but I have no issues using the curved one either. I am going to bring up a sobering piece of information though. Things right now are not good for a lot of people, and maybe $75 is still too much. So what then? Well, I would not consider getting an Echo then. The problem is that they have a very good resale, and even though you can still get them cheap when used, they aren't dirt cheap unless they have a serious issue. But if you can follow directions and have time to wait for one to show up in the free section of a website where items are given away, get it, then search for some videos on how to repair it, and you might end up with a great trimmer or something you can sell to make some extra money. Either way, it's a great choice. So if Echo trimmer resale values are so high, then how would you be able to pick one of these up for free then? Now, as amazing as it sounds, there are those consumers out there that will buy a new trimmer, use it for a few seasons, and then when it starts to have a few issues with it, they'll post it up to be given away for free. By that time, they'll have bought a new one to replace the one that had issues. The reason is very simple. Most consumers are just that, consumers. They will not repair anything. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how businesses and corporations would want us to act. Buy, use, and then when it breaks, repeat the process. And the only thing you can really do about it is to try to take care of it and make that purchase last for as long as possible. We see it with electronics, automobiles, and something most never really think about, clothing. It's just a fact of life. Now, going back to taking care of your lawn, if you're in a tight spot, unfortunately, there's not much you can do, but what I would do would be to buy a used corded electric trimmer and a really long extension cord if you didn't already have one. Then again, you really only get in trouble with the city when your lawn is overgrown in height. They never really say anything when you don't use a trimmer to clean up the edges, so you might not have to even bother with a string trimmer, but what fun would that be? I will say this, I typically enjoy most of the machines I fix, and if they happen to be something I've found for free, then most times I'll sell them because there's no need for me to keep them. But if I really like Echo products, then why not keep them? The answer is yet again very simple: money. If I get several trimmers, I will price them according to the market at the time, and if Echo trimmers are selling from $50 to $100, I will definitely sell them versus keeping them. But is there another reason why? I know it's hard for me to say this considering I've spent the last 10 minutes going on about how wonderful Echo products are, but I have mentioned this earlier. I want to be able to use a trimmer for a very long time and not get beat up by it. And even though Echo trimmers are well balanced and easy to handle, I still prefer to use a worthless weed eater brand Featherlight trimmer. The reason is because I don't ever need to do any heavy lifting with it, and to be honest, no one wants to buy that brand, so technically it's worthless on the market. So instead of leaving it in storage, that's the one I use on my own property. I know, strange, right? Now, if for some reason my Featherlight broke on me and I couldn't fix it immediately and I happened to have an Echo on hand, you bet I'd use it until I could figure out what to do about the broken one. And if for some reason nothing could be done, then I guess my new personal trimmer would be an Echo and I'd be happy to use it. Now, this straight shaft conversion for this Echo trimmer was not that easy to do. I needed an almost complete donor trimmer that was worn out and didn't work anymore. I basically had to swap over almost every single part. I almost wonder if it would have been easier to have just swapped the engines instead. Oh well, it's done now and it works great, and I did sell it. I don't recall how much I sold it for, but needless to say, I'm sure they were happy with it. Now, to be honest, I would just buy whichever trimmer you like or whichever one you know more about. However, I would definitely recommend trying one of these out, and if you happen to find a good used one for sale, or better yet, for free, grab it and hold on to it. You never know what the prices will be like in the next few years. You might be able to make a tidy profit with it. So my question is, if you didn't already have one, would you consider buying a new or used Echo trimmer? And if you do happen to have one, how long have you had yours for? Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions about this project or about your own projects, and I hope to see you in the next video.